Assalamualaikum. My name is Varisha Mahmood. I am a fourth year student here to present my topic Adverse Effects of Drug on Liver. My subtopic is Pathophysiology of Hepatic Injury. Before proceeding to the case study, we must know what is meant by pathophysiology. As we observe, it is a combination of two words. Patho means alteration and associated with the disease, and physiology means normal functioning of any organ. Collectively, pathophysiology defined as alteration in the normal organ functioning, and here I particularly discuss about the liver functioning. A number of the diseases are associated with this condition of the liver. I mentioned few of them. Hepatitis, it is an initial stage in which the damage to the liver begins, that is inflammation of the liver. The major cause is infection. It may be bacterial infection or viral infection. Fatty liver, excessive growth of the fatty acids on the liver, and it is because of too much consumption of the fats in diet. Liver fibrosis, it is a condition in which the liver cells are replaced by the scar formation, and when this disease progresses, it becomes liver cirrhosis. Majority of the liver cells are replaced with the scar formation, that are the non-functioning cells. Liver cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is the stage of the alcoholic liver disease. It may be because of alcohol consumption or not because of alcohol consumption. It happens when there is inflammation in the liver for a prolonged period of the time, and then it accompanied with the replacement of liver cells by scar cells. And when the liver cells replaced by scar cells, the liver functioning is lost, and it is a life-threatening condition. Usually, the damage caused by cirrhosis is irreversible, but we can cope up with this situation somehow by means of the medication. Here we have two cases: mild to moderate cases and severe cases. In mild to moderate cases, we have to stop the alcohol if the patient is alcohol consumer, and then go to the medications. And in severe cases, the only possibility is liver transplant. Here I mentioned few causes of the liver cirrhosis. The major cause is alcohol consumption. Other causes, it may be because of the viral infection, and the third major cause is accumulation of the fats in the liver. The minor causes of the liver cirrhosis includes the buildup of iron in the body, accumulation of the copper in the liver, and etc. In the picture, it represents the normal liver cells versus the liver cirrhosis. In the normal cells, we observe no signs of the scarring, but in case of the liver cirrhosis, we observe that scar tissue replaces our normal liver tissue. Initially, in case of the cirrhosis disease, we have no sign and symptoms when the disease in its beginning stage. But when the damage is extensive, we observe some sign and symptom which include fatigue that is associated with weakness. Patient feel weakness and tiredness easily bleeding because the blood from the stomach comes into the liver by means of hepatic portal vein. The pressure inside this vein is too much high. But when the liver is suffering from any severe condition, the liver pushed away the blood from the hepatic portal vein, and then it goes into the smaller blood vessels which unable to bear this high pressure and easily leads to bleed. Loss of appetite is also observed there with weight loss. Now, because of the easily bleeding and pushing away the blood into the smaller blood vessel, there is a accumulation of the fluid in the abdomen, and this accumulation leads to the swelling in your legs, feet, or ankles. We sometimes observe jaundice too, that is yellow discoloration in the eyes and skin. Number of the diagnostic tests are performed to confirm the liver cirrhosis is present or not. First, the complete blood count is the initial indicator of the liver disease, if particularly the RBCs are affected. Liver biopsy is performed to check whether the liver cells are proper or not. Liver function test is performed to check the functioning of the liver enzymes plus their levels in the liver. Then we proceed to the abdominal CT scan and ultrasound of the abdomen to confirm the presence of the liver cirrhosis. Now I am going to present a case study in which a 70-year-old patient was admitted in the hospital with complaints of abdominal distension, that is because of the accumulation of the fluid in the abdomen. And in these four symptoms, it is a basic indicator of the liver cirrhosis. He also feel weakness, loss of the appetite is also observed, which leads to the weight loss. The patient medical history is the patient is not associated with any major condition, that is hypertension and diabetes mellitus, and thus no past medications are available. But the patient is alcoholic, is smoker, and plus he is non-allergic to any medication. Number of the lab tests are performed to confirm the suffering of the patient, because we get the initial indicator of the liver cirrhosis as we perform complete blood count and liver function test. In the complete blood count, we observe that the levels of the hemoglobin are too much low and RBC's level are too much low. It means that the patient is suffering from anemia, and particularly the RBC's are affected, which is the indicator of the liver cirrhosis. Furthermore, the erythrocyte sedimentation rate are also increased, whereas the WBCs remain unaffected. In the liver function test, we observe that the levels of the liver enzymes increase and albumin level decreases. It is also another indicator of the liver disease, because in liver disease, the levels of the liver enzymes disrupt. Special investigations are also carried out to confirm the presence of the liver disease. We perform ultrasound of the abdomen, and in this ultrasound, we observe that the coarse texture is present there because the liver cells are replaced with the scar cells. The bladder wall is also thickened because of the same reason, and we also observe the enlargement of the spleen. Now, on the basis of these investigations and lab reports, we diagnose that the patient is suffering from the alcoholic liver cirrhosis. Now, according to the disease and according to the severity of the disease, first we proper counsel the patient to proper counseling of the patient is carried out to stop the alcohol consumption. Otherwise, medication will not be work. Proper diet plan should be provided to the patient, and if the patient is acute chronic acute alcohol abuser, we easily cope up with the situation by counseling only. But if the patient is chronic alcohol consumer, then we have to give the proper medication first. Now, number of the medications are given to the patient to cope up while he is admitted in the hospital. First, we give ursodeoxycholic acid per oral thrice a day. It basically protects the liver cells and bile cells from the infection or from the liver cirrhosis condition. And then we give the proton pump inhibitor by IV route. Particularly, we give omeprazole, and we give twice a day. Proton pump inhibitors, the function of proton pump inhibitors in this disease is they promote the gut bacteria, because in the liver disease, the gut bacteria are also affected. We also give L-ornithine and L-aspartate per oral once a day. It is an enzyme that balance the normal liver enzyme, plus they decrease the concentration of the blood in ammonia, which is produced as a result of the digestion process. Metronidazole IV once a day is given to the patient. It is an antibiotic, and it protect the patient from number of the infections which is usually associated with the liver disease. Now we give laxative per oral as per required according to the patient need. If the patient shows the symptom of constipation, then to relieve the symptoms of constipation, we give laxative. Aminoglycosides by IV route is given twice a day, and particularly we prefer or prescribe the neomycin in this case, that not only protect the patient from number of the infections but also decrease the production of the ammonia. Now, after discharging the patient, we suggest number of the medications. We prescribe number of the medications to the patient, that includes a tablet metronidazole, that is an antibiotic, and it protects the patient from severe infection. Then we give anti-emetic drug, and this drug is prescribed only if we required. If the patient shows a symptom of nausea and vomiting, then we prescribe this drug. The next drug is multivitamin, especially vitamin B complex, in order to meet the demand of the vitamins. As in liver disease, the patient vitamins and minerals level also disrupt. Then we give the major tablet, that is ursodeoxycholic acid, in order to cope up with the liver cirrhosis condition and to give the protection to the liver cells plus bile cells. After discharging the patient counseling is very important. First, we have to suggest the patient to avoid the alcohol consumption, because in the discharge medication, we give him metronidazole, which is not should not be taken with alcohol, And the alcohol is not only before discharging the patient, we should proper counsel our patient not to consume the alcohol because it not only worsens the condition of the patient disease but also leads to the disruption of the normal mechanism of action of medicine metronidazole. We should suggest the patient to take a proper diet and consume fruits and vegetables, especially which are enriched with the vitamins. And follow up review is normally suggested after 15 days. Thank you.